President Obama says the economy is improving, but is that really true enough to get him re-elected? Bernard Whitman from Whitman Insight Strategies is here again. Welcome back, Bernard. Good to see you.
Thank you, Stuart. Thanks for having me.
Before we get to the re-election, we'll get to that. Okay. But look, there is supposed to be a new plan out today from Harry Reid as to how he's going to get an extension of the payroll tax holiday through. Now, he's not going to presumably say, we're still going to tax millionaires to pay for it. Any idea what he's going to do?
I don't know, but frankly, I think that should still be part of the plan, and then maybe he's going to give some else to the Republicans to juice that a little bit to get it passed. This is the most common sense tax cut that we could possibly pass.
Okay,
it's reasonable, puts money in the pocket of average Americans. And woe to the Republicans if they don't jump on board. But there's got to be a give. There's got to be another give.
Tracy wants to get into this, but I really want to just tell everybody what's going on here. Not only does the president want to extend the payroll tax holiday, he wants to deepen it. He wants to lower the tax paid on payrolls by employers.
Precisely.
As well as employees.
And I got to tell you, Stuart, as a small business owner, that's exactly the type of tax cut, pro-job creation action that I look for from the president.
Now, Tracy, you're an accountant. You say that that is useless?
It's totally useless, Stuart. If you're making a decision about hiring an employee and paying him him or her $50,000, we're talking about $1,500 difference now that they're proposing on this 3.1% payroll tax. What happens the following year? First of all, $1,500 is not going to make or break whether or not you have the other $48,500 to pay the person all year long. Not to mention what happens when the $1,500 all of a sudden goes away and I got to pay it.
You know, Tracy, I could not disagree with you more, because as a small business owner, I do count all those dollars. And frankly, if I could get a little extra cash to give me an incentive to hire someone or two or three people
$1,500 is going to give you an incentive to hire
generate more revenue for next year, I'll be able to cover that cost next year. How can you argue against a tax cut? I don't understand.
It's a useless tax cut. It's a useless tax cut.
It's not useless to a small business owner.
And the worst part about it is it continues to eat into our Social Security fund, which you know you're just going to take from somebody else or somewhere else to fund that.
You know what we ought to do? We ought to raise the capital gains tax cut a little bit, take a little bit out of the top, not 1%, but 0.1%, and help pay for some of these job-creating programs.
Okay, now wait a minute. You must have some forecast of how many new jobs are going to be created if we do as you want to do. What is that forecast?
Look, Stuart, I'm not an economist. I can't tell you that.
But the president has proposed this. He must have an idea.
I can't tell you that the 8.6 unemployment rate is not going to stand without additional job-creating action. It's just not going to. In fact, we have got to create 200,000 jobs per month. You cannot just
walk in and say, we want to have this tax cut for employers and employees. This is what the president is proposing. You must have a forecast as to how many new jobs that's going to create.
I'm sure the administration does, but I tell you what the GOP's forecast is.
No, I'm not interested in the GOP. You're a Democrat. I want to hear from Democrats. What is the president saying here?
Stuart, it's because there is no job creation. There has been no job creation with the current payroll tax cut. None. That's why you don't have a number, Bernard. Because there's no job creation. All it does is drain Social Security. It does not create jobs.
The employee tax cut, you're right. That puts money in the pockets of average Americans. It does not create jobs. But those people need money to stimulate consumer spending so we can increase tax revenue
and that worked out well.
People back to work.
Okay, hold on. Dennis,
I just want to point out, I believe the cost of extending the Social Security cuts, those tax payments, is about $110 billion per year. And for some reason, our government has no problem with that. But the Bush tax cuts on the wealthiest investors in the country who do create jobs and own businesses cost $40 billion a year. So that's horrible. Let's end those. They're damaging the economy. But let's spend $110 billion on tax cuts that aren't working.
Because we need a broader-based tax cut to actually give people money to spend. I don't think the top, not 1%, 0.1% need any more money. And by the way, trickle-down economics was discredited in the 80s.
It just wasn't. That's just wrong. That's entirely wrong.
And you are right. And you are wrong. That was a pleasure. Mr. Whitman, thank you very much indeed. I'm sorry to be so short, but we're flat out of time. Thanks, buddy.